This SUV belongs to a family that has a dog and a child. And it shows. We got dog drool, dirt, fingerprints, dust, and plenty of interior grime. Today, we are putting Quivr's brand new Wipeout interior cleaner to the test. Quivr claims this product can be diluted anywhere from 5:1 all the way to 25:1. So the question is, how far can you really dilute it before the performance starts to suffer? What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to In the Details. My name is Jen, and today we are looking at one of the latest interior cleaners to hit the detailing market, which is Quivr's Wipeout. Now, a lot of videos you might see on YouTube are going to be looking at if they like the product or not. I want to answer a more practical question on my YouTube video today. And that is, if this product can be diluted from 5:1 to 25:1, what is that sweet spot while saving money and getting great results? And that's where we're going to focus on today's video. According to Josh V, Quivr Wipeout could be used in all interior surfaces. And to be honest with you, the smell of this is very familiar. I feel like it reminds me of Car Glow's Aqua Shine. So if you ever use Car Glow Aqua Shine, this smells very similar to that, and it gives me like a cherry hint, a cherry note within there. I could be entirely wrong, but that's what I'm getting out of this. And again, in today's video, we are focusing on the dilution. So we have 4 different dilutions that we are going to be testing out. And you saw this car, it's pretty gnarly. So let's talk about them. We are testing this out at 5:1, which is a heavy grime. We are doing 10:1, which is for general maintenance. We have 15:1, which again is for like that light detailing. And then we have 25:1, which essentially is like a quick detailer and light touch-ups. That's all it should be used to. So we are going to be putting all these dilutions to the test to determine, again, which dilution is perfect for you and what saves the most amount of money, while also testing Quivr Wipeout at the same time. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, as you can see, there's dog drool all over this glass, but it's also all throughout the panel here. And so what I wanted to do was to show a test which each of the dilutions. So we have 25:1 that's going to be used here, 15:1 that's going to be used here, 10:1 that's going to be used here, and then 5:1 here, just to see how it works. Normally, when this is something like this gnarly, what I do use is a Scrub Ninja. We are not going to use a Scrub Ninja. We're just going to use a microfiber towel. We're going to spray into the microfiber towel. We're going to wipe and then dry off and see. Again, this is just more so of how you should be cleaning your car, wiping on a microfiber, wiping it, drying it off. So that's how we're going to do it here. But again, this is pretty gnarly. I would usually, for this, I usually will spray, do the Scrub Ninja, get it all done fast. But for this context here, we are going to do it the proper way. All right, so we're going to start with our first dilution here, 25:1. So I'm going to spray a few. There we go. Here we go. So I sprayed a good bit on here, and we're going to start here and do it. And look to see how well this does. Again, at that 25:1, I still smell the scent. It's not as strong, but I do smell it still. And I'm just wiping this off here. And I'm giving it some time just because I want to see if it dies down a little. And I'm wiping the other side to dry it off. Again, this Wipeout does have UV protection as well. So kind of looking at that there. Just doing it one more time, flip the towel. Okay, again, I didn't do the whole entire area within here. I just wanted to focus on this one area first. And I'm actually gonna take my glove off because I do want to feel how this feels. Oh, wow, okay. Let me see something. Okay. This definitely feels pretty good, and it does leave like a little slickness to it at 25:1. So that is pretty good to see there. Now we're going to use 10:1 here. In a second, I'm going to change towels, and we're going to go from there. Okay, so now we're gonna be using 15 to 1. I'm gonna prime this. Like about 7 to 8 sprays here. And let's go in. I'm also gonna need to use a pick to get through this spot here, but trying to use this for demonstration purposes here. Oh, it's on me, that's coming off. So that's already slick there. All right, gonna flip it and dry it off. All right. Again, we didn't do the rest of this area here. I will do that as well, but I do want to show just this top portion where there was a good bit of contamination there from the dog drool. And if 25 to 1 can handle dog drool, then we obviously know 5 to 1 would as well. But we're going to do for this point of purpose here just to see. All right. Now we are going to be using 10 to 1 again right here. Do a few sprays. About 8 sprays as well, very similar to what I've done here. You can see all that there, and we're gonna go into it. Interesting, okay. And then we're gonna do 5 to 1 right here. Again, 5 to 1 right there. Same exact thing again. About 7 to 8 sprays. Well, I'll tell you this much. This one here, I can smell the most of the scent. So this one was pretty subtle. This one was also subtle. This one was subtle as well, but this 5 to 1, I can smell it significantly. So if you do not like having a strong smell, then I would probably recommend going with one of these other options. So now that we did that and we cleaned it all up, I will say, I do see some here on this 10 to 1. I do want to spray again on this 10 to 1. Just because it looks like, which is weird, looks like it didn't get some of this, but it could be staining. These are pretty old. No, it came off. Okay. All right, so with that, let's pull this off here. And let's look at these results closer. Okay. So I pulled my gloves off to show this here because I do want to feel the slickness on here. So this was 25 to 1 and it does feel slick. It does leave an OEM finish. It's not shining at all. Then here was 15 to 1, which again feels very slick as well. 10 to 1, but for some reason a 10 to 1, I don't know, the 10 to 1, unless I didn't scrub properly here, or that's a scratch, it doesn't feel as it cleaned better than this 15 to 1. And then 5 to 1. 5 to 1 definitely did a great job. But I could tell you right now, overall, just based off of what I'm seeing at this moment here, and hopefully it's coming off on this camera, 25 to 1 did a really good job on dog drool. Again, this is plastic, right? So nothing of concern there, but you could see that all of them did great. But for dog drool, I think this did a pretty good job, and I would probably use it at the 25 to 15 to 1. The 15 to 1 also did a really good job. 5 to 1 obviously did an amazing job. The problem is that great to use it at that dilution. However, if it looks pretty similar to the 15 or the 25 to 1, and again, I sprayed it on the microfiber and scrubbed. If I did a scrub ninja, this whole thing would have been done like in 2 seconds, but you can see that. And again, it leaves this slickness that does feel great. So you could tell that it is leaving some type of protection. Now I'm going to try to clean this whole entire thing as well at a 25-to-1 since I did like how this looked. So I'm going to finish this off here at 25-to-1 and let's just see how it works. Okay, so this here is technically like leather, right? So this plastic area here has a significant amount of debris. So normally I would not do this, but I am gonna spray some in there to let it soak for a little. And then I'm gonna just come in and spray the towel again, 25-to-1. And I'm gonna finish this area on top off. And then I'm gonna use a plastic tip to get around there as well. And we'll look at it in its entirety here. Okay, I'm gonna need some more liquid there. Again, 25-to-1, right? And normally I would, because of how bad this looks, I would have sprayed the whole entire product here, but we're not doing that. Now, let me get a pick for that portion there. Got that portion out. Get this as well. I don't know. For some reason that is showing there as a streak still. Look at that. I am going to use a Scrub Ninja. We're going to see how this looks with a Scrub Ninja as well. So I'm going to foam up the Scrub Ninja, again, 25-to-1. But at 25-to-1, it foams. It definitely foams at 25-to-1 here. So no concern there whatsoever. Wow, that's crazy. At 25-to-1 it's still foaming, but that was the part I was a little concerned about. Again, I still have to hit those cup holders, but let's wipe this bad boy off here. Remember, any water we bring in, we must wipe off as well. Okay, so let me just get this one more time here and give my initial thoughts. Oh man, that feels slick. Okay. All right, so you can see this is what 25-to-1 looks like. I also used the Scrub Ninja here. I don't know if you can see here. It's showing some residual, right? But it starts to flash off. Like that portion flashed off already, right? And you can see here there's some more, right? But that's probably also going to flash off. You see it's starting to flash off there. Interesting. So that's pretty cool. The flash off is really good on this. All right. And we're going to use another towel because that towel already got saturated. But again, without me wiping, I'm noticing some flash off pretty good here. All right. So if you look here, this was all done with 25-to-1 and it was pretty gnarly. I still have to do these cup holders, which I'm gonna do next right here. But if you look here, it basically left this really smooth. In addition to that, this whole entire thing is really clean at 25 to 1. Now let me get those cup holders, and that's gonna be another case there as well. All right, we're gonna use a boar's head brush, just a sweep through with getting 25 to 1. Just a couple sprays there. I got a little bit of overspray there, but that's okay. We let that sit for a second, and we're just coming through here. Getting that area there, okay? I'm gonna come in with a dry towel, dry off the excess that I obviously put there. In addition to, we're gonna dry off what's in there as well, and we'll show you the inside. Oh, that's through me here. Do a wipe, and you can see that much dirt came out of the 25 to 1. And good thing is I'm using Kirkland towels to do the interior here, so all these towels are going to get thrown out afterwards. So we're good from that perspective. But let's show you the inside here. And you can see that it is pretty clean. I'm going to come through again with a pick here to get these little edge portions, but the inside of that is fully clean now. It's not encrusted with all these things. So let me just get through and finish that one portion there. All right, I wanted to show an after video here, but you can see here the glass is all done as well, but I use Yum Glass to clean that, so Yum Glass cleaner. But I do want to show you what 25 to 1 was able to perform here, and get that inside. Now there are some scratches here, but nothing you could do. So far, Quivr Wipeout does have a fast wipe off, and again, it does that 25 to 1. It smells just very subtle, but you still get it, and it leaves a great OEM and slickness to your door here. So, all right, now we're gonna try it on this here. I got to pull these mats out to vacuum them, but we are going to try doing something here with this plastic to see, because again, that's another plastic, but that's a lot of dirt. So let's see if that works. Okay, so same test. This is going to be 25 to 1, 15 to 1, 10 to 1, 5 to 1. So we're going to do 25 to 1 here. I'm going to spray the towel. I did 5 sprays this time here, and we are going to agitate this, test in a little bit different here. Now I kind of got into the 15 to 1, but still. All right, so you can see that is 25 to 1. Let me grab another towel here. Again, we're going to do 15 when I did get some of the 25 to 1 on there, but 5 sprays again here on the towel, and we're just going to come through and do that. Again, you can see that looks a little pretty gnarly, but we're going to have to hit it with a little bit more. 15 to 1. Do another 5 sprays on here and come through. If I gotta use a scrub ninja, I will. But just some elbow grease there. Should get it out all the way. Let's polish that. All right. So 25 to 1 doesn't look the best on that. But again, it could be because I didn't spray it the best there, right? That could be the case. But you can see the dirt on this as well. Let me show you that. That's the dirt. Okay, now we're going to grab another towel here. We're going to do 10 to 1 right here. There goes the bottle. 5 sprays. And let's see. Now I can tell you right now, this definitely finishes off a little bit faster here. Okay. Wipe that off. There we go. That's how. Okay, you got 25 to 1, 15 to 1, 10 to 1. And obviously you can see when it starts to dry. But again, I am only using a microfiber towel. So it doesn't have enough, probably like abrasives in there to perform. But so far that one is doing a really good job compared to 25 to 1, 15 to 1, and that's 10 to 1. Now we're going to do 5 to 1 here. Let me get another towel. All right, here we go. Shake it again. 5 to 1, 5 sprays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see how it performs here. All right, there's a little stain over there I'm trying to get in the corner. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm noticing you guys are not seeing what I did there. All right, so now if I take this off, we'll look at each and every one of these here. So 25 to 1, it cleaned, but to be honest with you, at 25 to 1, I'm pretty impressed as well of how well it did clean. But like, look, that's how it was before, that's how it looks now. Now 15 to 1, still some brown in these areas, right? I did scrub, but again, I didn't use a Scrub Ninja, so maybe if I have agitation, a little bit more abrasive there, that would work. But here is 15 to 1. 10 to 1 looks the best out of these three, which again, so this is quick detailer, this is light maintenance, general maintenance, and then this is the heavy duty here. But if you can see, 5 to 1 obviously did the best, right? Still a great dilution, but 10 to 1 doesn't look as bad. And then that's 15 to 1, and then 25 to 1. Now I'm going to go through, and based off of this, 5 to 1 looks the best, but I want to use a Scrub Ninja on all these areas. So again, we did it with a microfiber. I wonder if we use a Scrub Ninja, and I'm going to use the same dilution in each of these areas. So I'm going to use a Scrub Ninja of 25 to 1 there. And let's just see. So let me get a Scrub Ninja here. Okay, so we have the Scrub Ninja, 25 to 1. Do 4 spritz there, and I'm going to come in and do that agitation here. Because again, I also think having agitation plays a role. And let's just see. Take just a regular towel and let's wipe that off. Okay. So obviously you could tell, right? That's still wet though. So let me get something to dry it off. Okay, so that's 25 to 1, and I use that Scrub Ninja. I'm going to use this spray here bottle to dry it off as quick as possible. The reason why I wanted to do that is because obviously everything looks great when it's wet, right? Obviously, I let this sit for a little. You can see how good that looks at 25 to 1, right? But everything looks great when it's wet. How does it look when it's dry? So you can see here, that is 25 to 1 here. And let me see if I can put a little bit more light here so you can see. Yeah. So if you look, right, it looks like, well, it was a lot better than what it was, right? Now that looks probably the best out of all of them. Still 5 to 1 looks great. 10 to 1 looks kind of on par to 5 to 1. Obviously, don't mind the dirt that's right there, but 15 to 1 looks the worst now at this point. 25 to 1 does look good. But based on what I am seeing here, I am going to follow through with 10 to 1. And I'm going to use a Scrub Ninja to finish this off. I'll dry it off and then you will see how it looks here. And then obviously I got to do some parts there as well. So give me a second and we'll get back to that. Okay, so here we go at the 10 to 1 dilution, which it did a really good job. So I would say for like a pretty gnarly area within there, again, that had a lot of dirt on there. And again, this car has not been cleaned since, I believe it was maybe a few years. So it took a lot of dirt off at 10 to 1. So yeah, so I would say for those harder areas so far, 10 to 1, still pretty good. 25 to 1 for the doors, which were pretty rough for dog drool, right? But for like that little bit caked on dirt, we're looking at this moment, 10 to 1. Okay, do this again. All right, sorry. Okay, so this is the other panel in the back where you can see, again, this looks like this is probably the kids' side here, but you could see there are some hot chocolate stains there, some dust in there, well, some dirt, not dust, right? There, we got some, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but that's, looks like that's coming off though easily there, right? But we have a few stains that we could also test out Quivr Wipeout. And obviously the windows as well, we're gonna do by glass, which is, it's pretty bad, but this is so cute. I don't know if you can see it. It has a little heart and a question mark. I thought that was cute. It's fingerprints, but it is cute. All right, so let's go in. All right, so we got some tape lined here. And again, I wanted to do this one as 25 to 1 because this probably has the most dirt out of it and also has some of this like stains from either ice cream or something of that nature. So we're gonna do the exact same thing again here. We're gonna use 25 to 1. So you can see we're going to spray 8 sprays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're gonna spray it on the microfiber. But we're gonna try something else as well on this. So let's cut through. Wipe this stuff off. I can tell you right now, we're probably gonna need to, yeah, we're gonna definitely need to use another few sprays here. 5 more sprays, and this one's pretty gnarly. Trying to do it with the less amount of chemicals here. All right, so you can see it got some of that stain off there. Again, with just some elbow grease, you could get a good bit of this stuff off. But I do want to show you, like, do you see that flash time that's happening here? It flashes off pretty quick. But I still see some dirt here. So what I want to do is, again, the microfiber towel might not be enough, right? There's a lot of stuff in here that we need to agitate. That doesn't mean that the chemicals are not working. We're probably not using the right proper agitation for this. So I didn't want to do this, but we are going to, and we're going to use the DIY interior towel. House of Rags has their version of this too, the Wake Eater, right? But we're going to use this one here. I did not want to do it because I didn't want to dirty this towel, but I think I want to show how this could also clean something like this off. So 8 sprays on this as well. Again, what's so cool about this is that it has the microfiber, but it also has like kind of like that agitation and scrub portion of it. So we can see how this pulls at that 25 to 1. I'm trying to get the areas that I see that need it the most. Okay. So it didn't get all of it out, It didn't get all of it out. Dirt is on here. It did get off the, I guess, ice cream stain or whatever that is there. Okay, perfect. So that is how that looks. And you can see there is some wetness here, but that's going to flash off here quickly. I could even probably like show you here. If I use this spray, flash, 2 seconds. I don't know if you saw that. That was pretty quick. Let me try to wet it again. See that? Gone. So it flashes really quick. All right, so that's 25 to 1. We did use the DIY Details Interior. Now we're gonna do 15 to 1 here. So with that being said, let's pull this off and see the results here. And I do think this might not be the best because I did get through some of there, but here's the result, 25 to 1. Again, just some small little areas here. Maybe we can use the Scrub Ninja. We'll see about that. This is 15 to 1. That was the area where we did not get. This here is 10 to 1. And then this is where I had the tape. And then this was 5 to 1. Again, 5 to 1 is definitely a cheat code. 5 to 1 and 10 to 1 look pretty similar to me. 15 and 25 look also similar to me. So let me show you the rest of this door in there as well. So what we're going to do is, I think for this purpose here, we're going to do 15 to 1. I want to see how 15 to 1 looks because we did 25 to 1. We did 10 to 1. Now let's do 15 to 1 on this and see kind of how it looks. Okay, so this was at 15 to 1 and you can see it cleaned the whole entire thing. There's some scuffs here, but nothing we could do about that, right? We could add something for a darkening effect to make this look a little bit darker, right? But that's not what we're doing on this. We're just using Wipeout, which again makes it feel soft. And then you can see in here that it's clean in here as well. All of that is now cleaned all the way through. So 15 to 1 definitely does a good job as well. And you can see that there was a whole bunch of stains here. Full transparency, I did use a Scrub Ninja to get the rest of it. So I sprayed some on my Scrub Ninja, wiped. 15 to 1, it does foam. And then obviously I used Yum Glass Cleaner to clean the glass because I don't know if you can use Wipeout on glass. So I didn't want to use that. I just wanted to solely focus on what I know that you could use it for. Okay, so you can see here, there's this big stain all throughout. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're definitely going to just go straight to the Scrub Ninja, right? But what I think I want to do is I'm going to try here to do 25 to 1 here. And then what we'll do is we're definitely going to try 25 to 1 also here. And then I think we're going to probably go 10 or 5 to 1. But I do want to try 25 to 1 just to see the cleaning power again, right? The whole point of this is to see the cleaning power. And I can tell you right now, I did not use a lot of chemicals so far on this. But so we did 5 sprays on there. And we're just going to come in with a Scrub Ninja. And that's where we're going to do that right there. Easy. It comes off easy, actually. That's not coming off as easy. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to go all throughout here, actually. At 25 to 1. That's pretty gnarly. Okay, let me get a 25 to 1. Let's wipe that off. And you can see the dirt there. That's at 25 to 1, okay? And it cleaned that gunk off. Now, again, I'm using a Scrub Ninja, but that, you know, proper tools needed, but that doesn't always need the microfiber. You know what? We could try with the microfiber too. So this is 25 to 1. I'm going to try to get that stain out there. I did 5 sprays. Let's see. Okay, and look at that. That's at 25 to 1. So obviously, see a little bit more there. Let's try with a Scrub Ninja. 3 sprays there, and just look at that. 25 to 1, it's foaming. That's crazy. Okay, so I want to show you that, all right? 25 to 1 was able to still clean this. Now, let's go to 10 to 1. Again, I feel like we don't need to go to 5 to 1, but we can see. We're going to do 2 sprays of the 10 to 1 here. Okay. Let's get that. I mean, 10 to 1. Still cleans really good, right? And obviously, we'll do, let's do 15 to 1. Okay, we'll do 15 to 1. I'll use the other side of the towel just because we'll do it that way. So here's 15 to 1. Did 4 sprays. We're gonna do this part right here. Look at that. Look at that. 15 to 1. Okay. So this has cleaning power. Obviously, now we're going to do the nuke, right, of 5 to 1 here. And did 4 sprays. We'll try to get that right there. Try to dry it off. Look at that. Easy, easy, easy. Now, again, that was with a microfiber. Let's 2 sprays. We'll get this whole area here. Okay. Wipe. Easy. Easy. So, for even stains on leather seats, now you can still see some, I don't know if that is stains. Actually, no, that's not stained. You can still see the indent, right? But that's not a stain here. And you can see how it looked before, right? That's pretty dirty. And 25 to 1, 15 to 1, 10 to 1 worked perfectly fine. Obviously, you got to do a little bit more elbow grease, right? If you're using 25 to 1, you got to scrub a little bit harder, but that's truly up to you what you want to do. And look at that. Yeah, that's pretty dirty. So what I'm going to do to finish this off, let's do 10 to 1. Let's do 10 to 1. Let's finish this off here with 10 to 1. And we'll use the, you know what? No. Yeah, let's do 10 to 1. We'll still use this Scrub Ninja here. And you can see 10 to 1 there. And we're going to just put in work. It comes off so easily with 10 to 1. Now again, 5 to 1, I didn't even have to press hard. 25 to 1, I did have to press slightly hard also with 15 to 1. So we're just getting some of the stuff out on these, on this leather seat here. Okay. And again, I got to go through and do this whole entire seat because there's some dirt here as well. But I wanted to show this first to show that the dilution works with anything. All right, so you can see at 10 to 1, it also did this. So again, 25 to 1 all the way to 5 to 1 worked for stains that were sitting here for a few years. It truly is up to you. On leather, you could use either or within here. I still don't think you need to go all the way to 5 to 1, but 5 to 1 is a cheat code. Hands down, 5-to-1 is a cheat code no matter what you do. You want something pretty quick that you don't have to put a lot of elbow grease in there. 5-to-1 is where it's at. 25-to-1 to 15-to-1, you do have to put a little bit more elbow grease. And then 10-to-1 is, again, just where you do put just like a little bit of elbow grease. Like, I'm just doing that. I'm not doing this, right? So truly up to you what you want to use on here. But for leather, so far, you could use any dilution. I think you could get away with 10-to-1. I would go with 10-to-1 to 15-to-1, depending on how gnarly it is, right? If it's really bad, maybe 10-to-1. If it's not that bad, I would go 25-to-1. You really don't need to go that hard. So you can see, obviously, it's pretty dirty here, right? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the least amount, which is 25-to-1, to clean this. And we're gonna use a regular microfiber. 5 sprays is all we need. And you can see the dust that's there just coming through. And I'm actually not scrubbing hard. And then I'm gonna flip the towel, dry it off. And you can see that it looks a lot better. Now, to be honest with you, we could probably spray some more. I did another couple sprays here. Cut through, dry it off, bam. So it looks really good. You can see how it went from that to that over there. Really good. Okay, so this is the next day here, and I just want to show you how well Quivr Wipeout did in cleaning everything here. You could even see the mats. This had like a whole white stain on there. It's all gone. That's beautifully matte. Whole bunch of dust on here, all gone. Leather seats had so much dirt on it. It's all gone. You can see the areas there. In addition to, this is probably where it was the worst, was in the back. And if you look here, there's a whole bunch of drool stains here, all gone. There was a whole bunch of dirt in there. That's all gone. Everything is nice and clean. There was a huge stain here. That is gone. There was stains on the headliner there. That is all gone thanks to Bonnet Pro Plus. But all of it is gone. It's ready to go back to its owner after I finish giving the interior cleaning. Okay, so it is the next day. I finished the interior last night, primarily using Wipeout in different dilutions. I did have to use Clean to Bonnet Pro Plus for the headliners, for the stains that were in there. In addition to, I use Yum Glass Cleaner for the interior glass to get those drool stains off of the glass. Okay, so what did I think about Quivr Wipeout? I think it holds true to the different dilutions. I used this and tested this at 5-to-1 all the way to 25-to-1, and you saw that at 25-to-1, it was doing work. It also did a really good job on taking those stains off of the seat. But again, up to you on which dilution you want to use. The perfect sweet spot dilution that I found personally was 15-to-1. I thought 15-to-1 was able to still clean like a beast. In addition to that, it left that nice OEM look. And this product leaves this smooth feeling on all surfaces that you put this on. So I would say sweet spot is 15-to-1. However, if you want a cheat code, 5-to-1 is definitely the cheat code. I don't think you need to use this at all straight. 5-to-1 is the cheat code, but sweet spot to me, and you saw how dirty this car was, 15-to-1 was probably that sweet spot that I found personally. Now, if you found this video interesting and informative, please hit that like button. Also, if you like this type of content, hit subscribe. Until then, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.